Welcome back, everyone. I'm sure it was a very short but a seemingly long break between the last restream race between Magnet and Hitsu, but we're back here with a fresh new pair of runners. And what amazing runners we have here today. We have Kohrek versus GanonsGoneWild. This is actually one of the last group stages in, I believe this is Group D? Yeah, and this have a lot of advancement implications. So from their group, there is CS Tutor, Tato, Kohrek, and GGW. And CS Tutor is already advanced. And what the implications here are is that Kohrek, if he were to advance, he absolutely needs to win this race. If he does not, he is gone from, I guess, like this particular round of groups and can no longer move forward. If GGW wins, he will actually need to play one more round and take basically the second place. So this is actually going to be a very, very tight match, very exciting between two basically top runners. I am Claire Mouse. Joined with me here today is the legendary Fear Agent, ALTTPR League creator, top runner, awesome commentator. Fear, how you doing?
That's quite the introduction. Are
you ready for this?
Okay, so hypothetically,
every word I deserve.
Yeah, okay. Hypothetically, let's say I don't know anything about what's going on here. Like, let's just pretend I don't know anything.
I have an excellent imagination here. So let's pretend that you don't know what's going on here.
Let's just pretend I have no idea what the hell is going on here. So we're in a tournament for the ladder, an invitational. So these two dudes qualified with their top 16 in this is Open Plus.
That's right. This is Open Plus.
So that part, let's say I hypothetically already know. Hypothetically, though, I have no idea. Let's just hypothetically say I don't know what's happening right now. So we're in groups week 1, and they are racing each other for the first time.
Correct. Right. Okay. Yes. So it's groups of 4, and their group is CS Tutor, Tato from Germany, and Kohrek and GGW. And so each racer just plays the other 3 exactly once. So 6 races total, and then out of the 4, only 2 get to advance. And because this is the 5th race out of the 6, I believe GGW still has to play CS Tutor, I think, tomorrow or something like that? Yeah. So CS Tutor, just because he has already taken basically 2-0, based on the other records, he is going to advance for sure. And now it's just kind of a matter between Kohrek, GGW, and Tato trying to take that last spot.
So you just gotta win. That's the goal. Win.
Yes, right. In order to advance, both of them have to win. But I believe in this case, like Kohrek needs to win this one, otherwise he is out. GGW needs to, and then it's going to be between GGW and Tato. But I think at that point, Tato's fate is no longer in his hands at that point.
So I knew all of that.
Of course.
We were just
talking about hypothetical situations.
And again, hypothetically, let's say I didn't know what Open Boots was. Or Open Plus was. What is Open? I, of course, know what Open Plus is. But hypothetically, let's say someone out there doesn't know what Open Plus is. What is Open Plus?
Oh, well, I mean, it's only hypothetical, Duncan. Don't worry. I mean, we're just throwing out scenarios here as we do. But hypothetically speaking, for those of you who are not familiar, Open Plus is a ladder mode that was introduced by Duncan last season as part of the Invitational. And for those of you who may have been familiar with SGL 2021 settings, last year, the item set is actually very, very similar. It's hard mode, slightly modified. Basically, you're still going to get your Captive Tempered Sword, your Captive Blue Mail, your Captive Fighter Shield. The bows are not progressive. You only get to keep 2 bottles. They always come empty. But probably, most importantly, with the plus part, you can see, despite having no boots on our trackers, which, by the way, is done by Magic and Baby Labs. They can dash. They're
dashing. They're dashing.
Isn't this amazing? Oh, this is like the best part, I think, in my opinion, about Open Plus.
So they're using boots.
Correct. Yes. They get pseudo boots out from the get-go, which means that assuming they end up maybe finding like a sword or something, right, or a hook shot, they have all of the boots movement available to them, right? So they can use hook speed, swords, spin speed. They can dash, as we're seeing Kohrek and GW doing, trying to look like farming a couple resources. Oh, bushcraft's pretty nice.
Yeah, getting those early bombs is nice. You head into Kakariko.
Yeah, yeah. And of course,
Kohrek only got one. Did he accidentally kill the bush crab?
Oh, I think so, but I think he might go back in this case. I mean, those bombs are pretty useful.
Yeah, you want at least 3.
Yes, but looks like Kohrek is not interested in getting more bombs. Maybe he's going to take a chance with the maybe like Bligh's Hut or the well. I guess we're gonna see. Right, and so for those of you who might be familiar with more like casual boots or boot starts mode, pseudo boots. The reason why they're not full boots is that there are no logic implications. So you can't bonk things off torches. You can't use that like bonk rocks thing right next to the fortune teller in order to get yourself another bomb, for example. If you just try and bomb, the ricochet looks a little bit shorter than normal, but otherwise we get all of the movements, but no logic.
Yeah, pseudo boots are great. So no bombs in Bligh's Hut, but he did get that 300, so you could go buy some or check the bottle vendor too real quick before hopping into the well.
Yeah, the early money is going to be really nice. Of course, GGW kind of took a little bit of extra time to get some more bombs from the bush crab. Probably doesn't have to go buy some bombs, but man, that money is going to get us our first sword. We are basically like 75% to playable at this point.
Yeah. Dash in with a sword. Life is good, and we're only the flute as well.
Okay, yeah, this is oh man.
2 swords
and 2 swords. Holy cow! All right, I'm excited.
I don't want to say it, but they're doing right.
Well, so hypothetically speaking, here, if
hook shot,
we have about a hook shot too.
You know what that says to me? That says, Aga.
Hypothetical hook shot.
Yeah, I'm still saying Aga with that.
All right, so we are kind of missing, a potential light source, in order just to get us through
there's the moon pearl.
Tower.
Man, what a Kakariko.
What a Kakariko, yeah. Starting Sank, basically going over to Kakariko, via Lost Woods, seems to be a pretty common start for people. I mean, Kakariko has not disappointed so far.
Yeah.
This is great.
I don't believe there was any bombs in the well either, so...
Yeah, that's true.
No bombs for Kohrek. So he did make that purchase just south of the chicken hut there. We see crystals at Hera and Eastern, and I believe that was a green pendant.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And Desert Palace.
Yeah.
Nice set of items to start with. So do you go to South Shore first? Or do you head up to the mountain since you got the flute and the hook shot?
Yeah, and see, normally I think like it's very regardless of kind of like 90% of the items or whatever you get, you're always going to go to South Shore. Especially when you have like the flute in order to get there a little bit faster. But yeah, you do mention like we have the flute and we have the hook shot. We basically have all of East F Mountain available to us. I guess I might be more tempted to wait on the mountain just so if I can maybe get like a mirror or a hammer. Like that would open up like Hera, for example. And of course we know from
they're gonna go to the mountain, they're gonna get a glove and a lamp.
And up there.
And then you do South Shore and then you do Aga.
These are all hypothetical, scenarios, right, Pierre?
No, this is
the real one. Got it. Okay.
So nothing on the library, nothing in the race game either. So GGW is going to go immediately to South Shore. Flute's going to make this interesting because we have so much access to everything here.
Yeah.
And we do get a little divergence here as Kohrek heads up to the mountain. Now this isn't in logic yet, but who cares about that?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yet is pretty much like there's actually like 100% true statement. You're definitely gonna need, well, logically speaking, you're gonna need the lamp to complete the seed. So just because we don't have the lamp now doesn't mean that it won't eventually be in logic.
Yeah, I mean it's over in Paradox Cave, so.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, you just said that 30 seconds ago. Yes, that's bad on me for not listening.
That's right. So we get mini Moldrum cave here from GGW.
Yeah, with all the money in Kakariko as well, right? GGW has over 600 rupees. Like, this might be more incentivizing for him to go over here, and do, like, the ice, mini Moldrum to Ice Rod Cave to, Sora. Not in logic quite yet, but again, we'll find the glove.
Yeah. Just a bottle and bombos here in Mini Moldrum Cave, and Kohrek rescues the old man and says, "You know what? Let's go South Shore."
Yeah, looks like it. Maybe he just
wanted
that
one out of logic check. It's always interesting to see how thorough our runners are going to play. You know, when you're playing in a big race, you might do things like skip out on Ice Rod Cave, but when you're doing one-on-one and you got the fluting over to 8 and checking out Ice Rod Cave, it doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, especially with pseudo boots, right? I mean, you can basically just still, like, this is about as fast as it's gonna get, right? There's not probably gonna be anything else that helps you.
Can you set up the water walk with the pseudo boots?
You cannot. That is actually one of the features, or something in this case to keep in mind, is that you cannot do a water walk with your pseudo boots. GGW looks like he wanted to flip somewhere.
I think he just missed. Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna do a fake flipper though. It does have the moon pearl, so even though it doesn't have the boots, you can still check waterfall fairies.
Yeah, right.
Those items there.
Yeah. So
might take a look at the island. No.
Nope. We're just gonna swim a couple circles around the portal before going in. And yeah, you're absolutely right. In this case, is that this is even before boots and water walk, it's been very common tech for players. And of course, you do kind of lose your whatever walking state if you do get a heart refill, but probably won't happen, right? In this case.
Yeah, it'll be fine. There's $20 and 3 bombs.
Just bombs. Oh yeah, another good reason actually in this case, for GW. So just fees today from the waterfall fairy, but especially if you come over here with a bottle, you can probably get potential freebie because they will never come filled. In this particular case, no free potion or fairy, but you never know when a bee is going to be able to help you out.
Yeah. I like Kohrek's use of the hookshot there, using the stairs to spin speed over.
Yeah, that's super nice.
Zora gives us just 10 arrows, so nothing in the water checks.
Yeah, we did see the red boomerang on Zora Ledge. I highly doubt it's going to be worth going back to. $20 there. First look at yeah, that's true. We got so many good things. We didn't even look at Link's house. Good thing though, people, at least GGW remembers to start at Link's house, especially when the early flu.
Gonna remember that?
I was exactly to say that. Like, it's really easy to not save and quit route because you have a flute, right? Hopefully, he's going to.
From the old man, pretty much every time now. Just a single arrow from the uncle there.
Looks like the NPCs of our
Is that a glove?
I didn't actually get to see it. It looked very funny.
There's 2 gloves.
Oh well, okay. So suddenly we have Dark World access, like back to back.
Yeah, this is actually going to be really good for GGW when he goes up to the mountain because he'll have Titan's mitts, so he can do Paradox and then do all of the Dark.
Oh yeah, that's
mountain
true.
Check as well. So. Trackers aren't going to track any boots today because they don't have them.
That is correct. Yes, that is actually a very good clarification. So I would like to shout out our tracking that is powered by Dark Black Magic and Baby Loves. So this is actually really powered by technology. Runners themselves, or we're reading inputs from the runners' individual trackers. In this case, like for example, Kohrek is using auto tracking. Everything is updated automatically once they pick up something. And in this particular mode, they don't get to start with boots. They get to start with pseudo boots, which gives you all of the movement ability of boots. So that's why you can see basically them like dashing around, using spin speed, hook speed, all that stuff. They just can't get any of the boots locked stuff, right? So like no bomb crocs, no desert torch. So the boots are very, very much out there. Hopefully when they go pick it up, it'll light up.
Yeah, we see our third sword in the sewers, or excuse me, in the back of a skate. Where I think we saw Quake and Paradox.
Yep, Kohrek picked that up. Yeah, thank you again, Dark Black Magic and Baby Laughs.
But bottle. That's their last bottle, right? There's only
correct, right? They can 2
bottles.
Yeah, right. So all 4 of them are placed. It's just that we can only, carry 2 of them because we're not that strong yet. We need a couple more mitts after Titans.
Yeah. So we see the map there in Zelda Cell with the gloves. GGW can just check the back of Escape. And if he gets a small key, he can just take that all the way to Dark Cross if he wants.
Yeah.
Pretty lackluster Paradox Cave, I'm not going to lie.
Well, you know what, we got Quake. We don't have a Dark World map check yet, but we already have 2 crystals in the Light World, so the chances are high that we're going to need, at least 1 medallion today. And those medallions can be pretty elusive, honestly, like, arguably on the same level as Ice Rod. hunts. Speaking of, so that's our 4th store, the green 20. So all 4 stores are pretty early. Hopefully in this case, I assume Kohrek is going to get the one for sure in the back of this game.
Yeah,
I don't know about the front.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how soon he prioritizes the front of the uncle in front of Escape.
Yeah.
Because he might go over to Eastern area first. I don't know. Do not know what his preference is.
Yeah, I think in these types of modes, so I know that, Kohrek probably does have more of an affinity, for Eastern Palace, probably than a lot of runners out there. But probably in this case, right, especially, being Eastern, being a crystal, probably wants to try and, explore a couple more things, hopefully to find a bow. Like the bow, by the way, bows are not progressive. And, hopefully in this case, that he can get that crystal.
Alright, so just a heart container in the Dark Cross. So all of the castle is cleared out for GW. I imagine we're going to see him head up to the mountain now.
Yeah. And yeah, you did.
Yeah, he'll have those mitts.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, you just mentioned that, right? It's going to be pretty good for GW for his sequencing because he's going to combine a lot of stuff. Never mind, we're going to check Sick Hit first. Because we did pick up basically all of our bottles at this point.
Yeah, that's not a bad check before you head up there. Kind of looking for the hammer or the mitts or something while you're up there, so that maybe you get the Hera, or you can combine more checks with it. But
yeah, but at least from between Kohrek and GGW, we've actually scored quite a bit of life. But we still haven't seen the Eastern Palace area, no Eastern itself, no Saha either. But I think other than that, everything else is pretty much covered.
Yeah, Kohrek did a Gina. They both did the water checks.
Oh, I guess so. Hobo wasn't, I think, checked on either side.
Yeah, but that's not in logic.
That's also true. And no one really wants to do Hobo, especially with no real boots, right? It's kind of make a choice between Hobo and Zora. And usually Zora wins out, despite being 500 rupees higher entry fee.
So Kohrek may skip out on Dark Cross here because he doesn't have the map yet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Alright, so GGW gonna get his Titan's mitts, and we'll be pretty happy about that because he's gonna be able to combo Dark Death Mountain. And there's a
yes, I'm very proud of you, Kohrek, for remembering that Link's House does exist. This is actually basically just, but this is essentially starting pseudo boots, sword, and flute, and hook shot for that matter. We have so much stuff, movement-wise, that's as good as it's gonna get.
Do you think Kohrek does the front of Escape here?
Yes. The fact that he's here, I believe he will. And then he'll probably do Dark Cross afterwards. Just because he does. Assuming he does in front of Escape, he doesn't want to basically leave Dark Cross behind.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You did mention also there was a heart container in Dark Cross. So yeah, as part of kind of the modified heart item pool. So you actually can see that we're almost 15 minutes into the match. Kohrek and GGW are both on 5 hearts. There are only 3 effective heart containers. So there's 2 regular heart containers and Sync heart, and then every other heart upgrade is going to be heart pieces. So it actually does kind of induce more of a slower health growth. Basically makes things a little bit more challenging, right? Because as opposed to you have all the heart containers in, and even you can cap the health, you can certainly get a lot of early health and make the game a bit easier.
Yeah. So if you're Kohrek, after you finish the Escape here, where are you going next? Are you going Skull Woods? Or are you going Meyer? Are you going back up?
Kohrek and Skull Woods. Okay, all right. So to give you some background. Actually, I was gonna say Kohrek just demonstrated a little bit of pseudo boots bonking. But I was gonna say, so right, regarding Skull Woods being an option. To give you some background, Kohrek's favorite question on record. When he was doing his last interview is, what would Gem do? And so if you have, either sense of what Kohrek or Gem might do, in scenes like this, Skull Woods is probably not, high on the priority, despite this, of course, being, an ALTTPR ladder event.
Sure, but his only entrance to the Dark World at this point is the Skull Woods entrance.
Right.
So I'm not necessarily asking, does he go to Skull Woods, but does he go to like the Skullwoods Village Broadcast area, or does he go check Meyer first, or does he head back up to the mountain to make sure that he's not missing out on something?
Yeah, so my guess, and of course Kohrek is going to probably prove me wrong in 2 minutes, is that he's going to go to Meyer to make a quick check, see what the medallion is, do Meyer shed. He might be more willing to kind of wait for the mirror, maybe want to do like Checkerboard Cave and get to Desert alongside. But my guess is he'll go to Meyer shed, and then probably Dark World. Maybe depending on what the crystal pendant situation is. Okay, thank you, GGW, for that.
Yeah, there it is. Ice Palace TRs are the pendants, and our 5/6 are Skullwoods and East Town.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So, okay. So, Sophia, do you clear out the East Town without the hammer? See, this is always a tough question. This is one you why. Like, if you can maybe find it.
Yeah, I think with the flute in the mitts, I'm more likely just to check the first 4, and then go to like Hype Cave, maybe pick up the Smith or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. That also could be a good way to do things as well. Yeah, unfortunately no mirror, right? Means that the Smith chain is, you can only kind of do it piecewise. But that is actually a really good opportunity, especially with no hammer, for really anything good mobility-wise.
Alright, so our first look at Super Bunny Cave gives us nothing. And Kohrek says, I'm not going to isolate that because there's a good chance that my opponent had...
like I said, Kohrek is here basically, to do his own thing, and you're right. I should just let you make the call, Spear, at this point.
So we don't necessarily need to go into Turtle Rock, but we have access to Turtle Rock.
Oh, of course we have access to Turtle Rock. Why are we surprised?
Not without the hammer. We still need the hammer, but we do have Samaria and Quake, so here's take a look at Hookshot Cave.
Yeah. I mean, I know it. Well, I guess a hammer here, actually would be quite good for both GGW and Kohrek, just because they're both up here. And then, you really want the hammer, for some Dark World maneuverability.
Yeah. So nothing on Dark Death Mountain. So I think we're actually equal on checks. I think GGW is just the only check that Kohrek has on GGW is Akina.
Right.
Other than that, they've done all the same checks. So. See where GGW wants to go, and he chooses to buy a potion.
This looking
Meyer?
a pod play, maybe?
No, this is Meyer.
This is Meyer.
I have access to Meyer. There's no fire source though. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe one will just show up in Meyer shed, right? I mean, it's happened before.
Yep.
I believe Wayne is very, famous for fighting fire on in Meyer shed.
We have access to it. We do.
We do.
It's tough though. Like, it's a quick check, but it could be fire locked. I feel like it's the right play though.
Oh, jeez.
Never mind.
Never mind. We have a lot better options now for us on the table. For example, we were just asking if you would go clear Thieves Town without the hammer. Hey, we have the hammer now. So we're gonna probably go full clear Thieves Town.
All right. So GGW is gonna head to Village of Outcast here. Kohrek gonna give us a look at Saha's closet.
Yeah, and the fact that he's here, well, I guess we're gonna see if he decides to flute away. If you want to do Eastern before Saha, there was a nice little shortcut he can, pick up the rock for. But again, like, Saha has a quick 3 checks. Either we know we don't need because he saw the medallion on GGW side of Meyer and just heart pieces. So looks like he's got the flute out though, so he probably won't be going Eastern.
Yeah, I think Meyer's just a good play for both of our runners. Ooh, this is not good for Kohrek if he's going into the Dark World from here.
So GGW certainly does have a pretty, good time advantage with that hammer. If GGW finds out, though, in this case, that Thieves Town, we can get all the items out of Thieves Town without the hammer, there's certainly going to be, great news for Kohrek.
All right, what do you think? Is there something in the big chest that's not a dungeon item?
I mean, I'm hoping that the answer is no for Kohrek's sake. But I guess Rando doesn't always have to be kind, to our runners.
All right, so big key compass, first 2 checks.
Yeah, it looks like nothing really in the surrounding area of Village of the Outcasts as well. And there's the map. Well, we haven't found the small key yet, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So, all right, yeah. So for Kohrek's sake, and some of his maybe like mental fortitude, or maybe he's just not even gonna go into Mire to begin with, or not Mire, Thievestown.
Yeah.
We're just gonna skip out on it entirely.
I'm telling you, he's not even going in because he's left. He's gone. He's definitely not going back right now.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, he still might do it before he gets the hammer, but not right now. He's going to check Hype Cave first.
Yeah. So this is going to be dig game. Eventually, we'll get our prize at some point. I don't know if he, you mentioned maybe, GGW taking on like the Smith chain, or at least taking the Smith, for part of it. I don't know if Kohrek wants to do that.
Yeah. I like getting the Smith here, though, because you're going to come back here anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it looks like, though, yeah, he is going to do this. Of course, no hammer means that, there is no hammer pegs available at this point, but, we're not going to be too concerned about that. Although, on the other hand, GGW is going to be able to give us that extra check early. Assuming he does the switching stuff. Alright, so we finally made our way up the attic. It is just 50 rupees, so it's going to be another item, which means that, the chances are slightly higher that the small key is locked within itself in the big chest. But, of course, GGW doesn't care because he's got the hammer.
Yeah, he's got the hammer. Yeah. And what do you think about Hype Cave is going to be?
I hope there's something. Well, so, we're still missing a ton of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, where's our lamp, for example?
You're worried about the lamp? Come on.
I'm just curious.
Who cares about the lamp? With the fire rod.
Speaking of the okay, is that good? I was gonna say there's a lot of bombs, a little bit of money, and a book. Oh, all right. Okay.
Small key in the big chest.
Okay, so GGW doesn't care. If that is going to be a good thing for Kohrek if he makes the decision to come.
Yeah.
Still TBD if he will actually do that though.
So we're looking for. We need those flippers. No, we don't. Is Swamp a pendant? No.
No, Swamp is a regular crystal. The pendants were at Ice Palace and Turtle Rock.
Okay. Because I'm looking at Kohrek's checker and he's got 4 pendants on there.
I certainly hope in this case that he remembers that Swamp Palace is a crystal, because we are definitely going to need that. So actually, yeah. So right, mentioned before in this case that the trackers are picking up, what the runners, are putting in, to their trackers, and in this particular case, like we, 100%, this I actually prefer this because you get to see in this case like what the runners are thinking and what their perspectives are, and then how that kind of influences their decision.
Yeah, that's not great to see. Hopefully.
I mean, it's good for awareness on our part, but the fact that Kohrek does have 4 pendants marked is not, is a little bit, shaky for Kohrek's situation right now.
So we do need those flippers. We need the mirror. We need the bow. We need the fire rod. That's what we need for sure. Got all the medallions, or know where all the medallions are.
yeah, right. The ether medallion, which of course we know that we don't need at this point, was in the backup Sahajula's. But like for example, like so we know, or thank you at least for making that part of our attention, is that Kohrek right now has 4 pendants marked, Swamp Palace being one of them. This will actually potentially save us some questions about doesn't he know potentially that Swamp Palace is a crystal? Like in this case, we actually will know if influence some of his decisions.
I mean, he'll figure it out eventually. It's just does it hurt him?
Yeah, and of course, actually, so the fact that Kohrek right now is in Thievestown, we can actually see, in the upper left-hand corner, there is a nice C up there. So, regardless of whether or not you have the map, it will auto just show you if this is a crystal or a pendant. And I think at this point by now, Kohrek knows that, he can see this. And so maybe he'll actually, if he decides to go into Swamp, he'll realize it's a pendant.
So where do you go after you rescue the Smiths for GGW? Because You've got Skull Woods, an option not completable. You've got Eastern, an option not completable. You've got Pod, an option not completable. You've got Mire, an option that may not be completable. You can sequence break ice, though that seems a little nuts. Where do you go? Well, your decision here is
right. Like the flippers being outstanding, I think really does kind of like heavily influence like some of these decisions, right? Because we can't get into Swampy if we want to. Of course, also no mirror. And
there's just a lot of dungeons you can do that aren't completable. I see Hera's in chat. That's such a long way to get to, and it's only 2 items, and it could be fire locked, which, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. We have a no mirror, but we do technically have logical access in this case, which, you know, and for those of you who maybe have been, you know, playing in the main tournament, please. Jeez. I was gonna say, playing in the main tournament, you know, if you happen to roll tournament inverted keys, you might have experience trying to get over to Hera and inverted. This is the exact same scenario where the only way over there is, well, all across, basically, you know, the mountain map.
We are gonna see the world tour for at least into the pyramid from the GW side, so this is an interesting play that we haven't seen from Kohrek. He saved and quit out of Hype Cave. He said, fuck the pyramid.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I said to swear because
I know. Well, yeah. This is where the honest commentary happens.
Yeah.
This is exactly why. Another reason why we love Dunka so much, and it's because we can do stuff like this.
I am also thinking about changing my name to Baby Laughs.
Oh, so you can take some credit? I see. You know, from Dunka's Black Magic. You could be the White Dark Magic, or white Light Magic, I guess. And that's the opposite. It looks like GW is gonna be, well, basically, you know, as thorough as he's gonna get for this.
Yeah.
Like all the way to, you know, Catfish.
Pod is probably where I'd want to go, just because it has the most amount of items available.
And I guess you have a hammer, right? But we are still looking, I think you mentioned earlier, we're still looking for a bow. I mean, is Pod, like, appealing without a bow? I don't know, like, or would you try and hold out, you know, for a bow to do for
I don't know. There? I mean, you go where the item is.
Well, yeah, well, that's what we're trying to find.
Right? So you gotta pick maybe the most dense. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, no, I mean, that's really a good point. You know, depending on what the item layout is in Pod, we could just get everything out of there without needing the bow. I mean, and this would, of course, you know, certainly at least for GGW, he invested some time to go buy 2 potions. He can certainly sequence break out the right side. Kohrek, I don't believe has done that yet. I don't know how confident he is in his mimic clipping abilities. Maybe, you know, a little bit less appealing for Kohrek in that case.
He will be able to turn in the purple chest, though, which I don't know if GW is going to be doing anytime soon. I think he's going to go to Skull Woods here.
All right. Okay. So, well, we are in the ladder. I believe, especially, you know, in the last seed, there was a King of Samaria in the front of Skull Woods, which was pretty dang required. And so, you know, maybe GGW is just kind of, you know, taking his hints. You know. But yeah, as you said, so Kohrek is finishing up the mirrorless Smith chain. Kohrek tried to hook onto the rock. The little bunny is not giving him any options.
Just a heart piece. All right, Skull Woods.
Compass for first chest. Yeah, of course, no fire rod means that we can't, in this case, kill Mothula, of course, unless the fire rod is here.
Korek's making the pod play. I like it. Of course, it's going to stink when GGW finds the bow here.
Well, you know, we don't know where the bow is. And of course, there is, only one bow. Bows are not progressive. So we can even find silver. So that would be great bonus, but not going to get the, you know, progression we need.
He's not going to pod.
Oh, okay. Looks like we are going to do Pyramid Catfish. Okay. Or maybe just Pyramid? I can't imagine this is only one Pyramid check, though.
Yeah, I think you probably have to go all the way to Catfish from here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no mirror for Kohrek. So, for GGW, again, it didn't really matter too much just because he had already gone over to Zora and just gotten like 10 arrows out of it. I don't believe. Actually, no, did Kohrek go? I had also already forgotten.
Go where?
To Zora.
Yeah, he did go to Zora.
Oh, okay, alright, no, okay, so never mind. So nobody actually cares, we're just gonna make the coverage.
One more check. One more check. What's it gonna be?
That's where the scenario was last time. It is.
One more check.
Try it again. At least GGW caught the ride before the hand, clapped.
That was a really good time.
No, yeah. Alright, what is it gonna be here? Not here. Alright, we found a compass here in the front of Skull Woods and a bunch of keys.
What an awful Skull Woods.
Mm-hmm.
I want my money back.
we didn't even get money from Skull Woods. Like we can't even get anything back.
Alright, Kohrek going Hera. Don't need the cape for Bumper Ledge today, and I think GGW is going to finish off the Smith chain, pick up the purple chest here. So we're going to get some new information shortly from Kohrek as he makes his way all the way around the mountain to get to Hera.
Yeah.
Which could just be Firelock. Now they do have the hook shot, obviously, so you can Hera pot, but that doesn't guarantee you both items.
Yeah, you are 100% correct, and even though Herapot does give us not logical access, up. It gives us a ride up to the top, right? But for example, the big key, could still an item could still be in the big chest, right?
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't be able to get it. Kohrek. Hopefully not going to experience too many technical difficulties.
All right, GGW flued out. Where are you going? 5?
Kohrek demonstrate. Oh right, we picked up a book.
Yeah. Oh no.
All right, don't worry. We have the best technical support we could ask for in this particular case. I think Dunk is going to try and work his magic here behind the scenes. This might be, at least, from GGW's perspective, right? This actually might be Saha into Eastern.
Oh, Kohrek's done. GG's.
So fast, right? This is a record, for people. People are talking about, main tournament qualifiers or, PBs on ladder, being sub-hour, Kohrek's, just blown them away, basically, 35 minutes, not even?
Yeah, that was impressive. Mm-hmm. All right, so it looks like GGW is going to make the dip into Eastern before he goes to Pod here.
Mm-hmm.
So Kohrek's stream did go offline. We'll get it back up as soon as he's live, but there is a 10-minute delay with these races. So
yeah.
Maybe a few minutes before we find out what Hera is holding for us, which is probably both the mirror and the fire rod and the book and the bow and the flippers, all in magically in Hera.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So actually, the good news is that all thanks thanks again by the way to Dark Black Magic and Baby Laugh. Even though Kohrek's stream will take a little bit of time in this 10 minutes, to kind of come back up, his tracker is still going. So we're actually going to be able to see kind of piecewise what type of progress this game's going. So we actually did see the Hera now is actually completely cleared out. And defeated. So actually, it looks like Hera was not fire locked in this case. Whether the big key was in the front or available, or maybe Kohrek just Hera potted up and didn't need the big key. That is TBD, but that is another crystal dungeon down.
Crystal dungeon down with no progression either.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to know. See if GGW is just putting that off for a while and does that maybe last. It can save him some time.
Yeah, no,
The shovel, very fun.
It's another great Sphere 1, fetch quest for GGW here in Eastern. Yeah, I was actually gonna say the technology. This is actually I think this might be the first restream connection issues like we've had, in terms of like runners, but because the fact that we are actually discovering this as a really nice bonus, from Dark Black Magic and Baby Lass, aka Dunka, and his amazing tech, is just so good.
Is Dark Black Magic and Baby Lass the pet names for Dunka and Herf? Is that what they call each other?
Fear. It has not occurred to me until just now. Can we get a Dunka or Herfy in here for near view?
Yeah. I could imagine Dunka calling Herfy Baby Laughs. Yeah, that sounds about right. There's the bow!
Oh my gosh! Holy cow! Oh, GGW. Alright, so, I'm just gonna post Kohrek's email in chat.
Huge gap there for
yeah. I mean, if you were not Eastern Palace believers before, GGW in this case, it is technically still out of logic just because we don't have the lamp yet, as we're kind of seeing GGW try to kill this Igor in the dark to get the key.
Spamming those arrows. Go on.
Yeah, this is, if you were wondering about the value of Eastern Palace, here we are. GGW is going to be able to clear out Eastern and then just go straight right into Pod with the flute away.
Yeah, that's pretty big. So hopefully Kohrek makes that same call before actually going into Pod. Like I mentioned, Pod having more items seems like it'd be a better call, but not today.
No. The full value here is an Eastern Palace. I mean, of course, Pod can still have its own value.
Sure.
We're still missing a lot of stuff. But in this case, if you can single dip both dungeons, this is absolutely what you want to do. GGW has a very slightly different quick Armos kill, almost reminiscent of like the Ice Armos version, but still, gets it done pretty nicely.
Yep. Nicely done there from GGW, getting his second crystal. I'm just going to be keeping an eye on that bow on Kohrek's tracker to see if he picks that up.
He decides to,
soon.
That's a good point, yep.
Would know he made it there into Eastern Palace. Because as you said, the bows are not progressive.
And we haven't found silvers yet. Yeah, actually, to answer your question in chat, right? So Kohrek's tracker, despite us not being able to get a stream on, is still going. In fact, and the fact that he does have Hera cleared, and the lamp not lit up or the fire rod not lit up means that he has not found either fire source, and which means that in this case, like the big key was either available, in Hera, like in the front, and he would just basically go up, or he Hera potted and like both items, were did not require the big key, for example. Then he can finish it. Yeah, and this is actually like really amazing, right? Because in terms of technology, right? When a runner stream goes down, it's certainly a very unfortunate situation. But then we have no idea what happened in the last 10 minutes. But now we literally have a live feed as to what Kohrek's progress is.
So what's their record? Both of their records.
So I believe Kohrek is 1-1, and I believe GGW is 0-1. So no. So GW must be 1. Let me go double check this. No. So GW is 0-1 because he's playing Kohrek right now for a second game. Yeah, okay. and so if Kohrek wins, he will advance because he will in this case then have a 2-1 record. If Kohrek does not win, then GGW will have to play CS Tutor potentially for that last spot.
Okay.
For GGW to advance.
Sure. So Pod is 100% bow locked with the compass there in the first chest.
Okay. Alright, so maybe, even if... Okay, so no mirror makes this a bit more awkward, but, if even Kohrek decides to go to Pod first, right, and he finds that Pod is bow locked, that might deter him from keep going.
Yeah. It looks like he's in Eastern, if you look at his tracker.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's a great observation. Alright, this is gonna be awesome for Kohrek, so we're gonna, he already marked down 2 items, and, assuming he's still going, we're gonna see that bow light up really shortly. Oh, this is so slick, dude.
So there's at least one small key over on the right side. We see that, and there's
in a cave. Interesting.
So both of the damage prevention items. The cane and the cape are both bow locked.
Yeah, and lamp locks.
Right.
Yeah, GDW is being very kindly reminded that these are pseudo boots, and he just demonstrated that if you don't have real boots, your bonk distance even is a little bit shorter, just because you can't actually use the bonk distance as part of your logic.
So realizing there has to be a small key there in the big chest, or the vanilla big key chest, was set the bomb down, but didn't grab it. So there is one more key, and it is in the Stavros basement there. And we do see the bow on Kohrek's tracker there.
So sweet. So assuming he's gonna get through in this case the dark ones in the back and take down Ice Armos, he is gonna go pick up his Cane of Burna, and then for Kohrek, it's basically just gonna follow GGW's progress here, and basically I assume he's just gonna flute straight to 5, go to the Dark World and clear out pod.
There's the big key. A small key. What's interesting is he could, gosh, you really want the mirror though. I was thinking maybe hammering up, but.
Oh yeah. And GGW has already picked up Blue and Kohrek, and has already picked up Blue already. Not to mention another Harkentator, but yeah, like right now, pod with no mirror. I think maybe these guys would even might prefer inverted at this point, because at least if you're here in pod and inverted, you probably only have like 3 or 4 hearts. And yeah, without the mirror, in order to try and get to the beginning of pod is quite painful.
A couple extra pauses here just to get the right setup. So he's got it. There is the map. So the rest, I believe, are all items. So there's 2 items here, and then I think another item on the boss.
Right, and yeah, just to clarify for chat, the reason why we can actually still see progress, on Kohrek's side, is that even though we can't we have to basically wait for his delay to catch up in order to get his stream back, but he's still playing the game, right? And these trackers, in this case, a Dark Black Magic and Baby Labs, aka Dunka's amazing technology, is just literally picking up inputs, directly from Kohrek and GGW.
Ooh, there's the mirror.
So, oh jeez, there's a mirror in pod too.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, well, the fact that we know that Kohrek is here also in pod means that that mirror, while it's great for both GW and Kohrek, but certainly not going to make a big, I would say, differential, because Kohrek's going to get that reasonably shortly.
This really works out because he's able to skip the Stavros basement as well, and doesn't have to pick up that right there. So one more item here on the boss. We've got the mirror, so we're looking for the flippers, and we're looking for the ice rod.
We still have to find. No, we do. We don't need an ice rod, do we?
I'm sorry, fire rod.
Okay.
Yeah, wrong rod.
Yeah, as it's not oftentimes we get Turtle Rock being appended, but especially when we found already all of our medallions. Well, hopefully we're not gonna need that ice rod today.
Looks like, gosh. Do you go Meyer after pod?
Do I do Meyer after? We still don't have a fire source. Are you okay going into Meyer without a fire source?
I mean, at this point, right? Maybe you make that call. I mean, he's done Skullwoods. I don't feel like you want to do ice.
Well, I was actually just going to ask.
I don't know. I hate this dark room that GGW's in. There's a couple setups that make it pretty easy, but turtles get away, they can kind of be annoying. But with blue mail and everything, he should be having problems. And he's already through, so.
Very excellent use, by the way, of Cane of Burna on GW's side. If you actually have invincibility and you use it, and you start your dash immediately after you warp in, you can actually just get a free key dash. So it's actually really cool.
Alright, so it looks like we'll be getting Kohrek back here in just a second. Let's see what our next item on helmet is. Maybe it's just the flippers. Or the fire rod.
Oh, well, we did pick up a mirror, in this case, in Pod Dark Maze. We see, ignore everything that's going on behind the curtains. You saw nothing. We saw only GW picking up his crystal. But looks like no extra item though on Helmasaur itself. But yeah, so let's see what difficult decision in this case GW is going to make. Hey, welcome back, Kohrek. We are thank you, Dunka, for making this happen. Looks like.
So it looks like Kohrek's making the mistake that GGW was able to avoid, and that's his checking the basement here.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, looks like a little bit of time over to GW just by like the nature of how their pod routing is.
Yeah, GW is also gonna stay some time here as he's got the mirror. We'll be able to get up to Hera a bit quicker. Yeah,
that's true. And I think we didn't actually see any progression items like light up on Kohrek's tracker when he was here. So this actually, it's not gonna GW probably not gonna miss anything. I
wonder if Kohrek did Spike Cave. I can't imagine him actually doing the Spike Cave because he didn't have either of the items. I don't think I've seen him pick up a potion either. So
yeah,
Spike Cave. Okay, so there's nothing on the tablet. We kind of knew. I had to assume that.
Yeah, well, right before Kohrek's screen cut off, like we did see him heading over to Ether tablet. So I assume he definitely checked that. And I think you're right, Fear. Like so, Berna was on Armos, which Kohrek didn't have. The cape is here, in pod, which Kohrek also doesn't have yet. And he only has a B in this bottle, so I don't think he can force his way through Spike Cave.
Yeah, so I imagine we'll see Spike Cave from GGW if that has.
Yeah, given that he has both ability items. Yeah, those. Okay, all right. Yeah, GGW. Presumably, Kohrek also did this, but you just have to assume. Herapoda is certainly going to be a lot more time save versus just climbing the tower the vanilla way.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like GGW remembering that he. No, never mind. We're just gonna go down. Yeah, that's right. He was trying to remember. He's like, oh, I'll just drop down then bonk back. No. We definitely need to drop down because you cannot bonk your way back. Otherwise, you're definitely gonna climb the tower the vanilla way.
So we saw the two items there in here, just some bombs, and I think it was 5 rupees.
Yeah.
Which nobody don't look. Don't
no, but nobody saw anything. Don't worry. We're just yeah. Looks like the Kohrek is looks like alright. Cape just updated, so he's gonna get his mirror here very shortly. And of course, no lamp for either runner means that we're this is the exact same kind of scenario. Basically a big black screen, with just a sword in their space to light up on it.
Turtle Rock. So again, do you want to do Turtle Rock with no fire rod? Would you? Right? Do you take your chances and see if you see how far you can get? I don't know. Because you don't. So that if you are locked down immediately, like for example, the compass chest, right, has an item or non-key, then you can't go any further. I guess the question is, if there is a small key, how far are you willing to kind of invest this time? Looks like we are going to see Spike Cave here from GGW. So we're looking for the flips. We're looking for the fire rod.
Yeah, and actually, both of them are 100% hardwired. We're kind of really hoping that we won't see the ice rod, just because in this case we know we won't need it. Oh, Kohrek, running out of arrows, unfortunate.
No. Yeah. Luckily, there's 10 arrows in this room for this such an event as running out of arrows. So in the clear, no problem.
All right, so is this might be the desert path?
Oh, desert. Yeah, you can check desert. You can check the ledge, and then you can also, jump into my. Oh no,
he's going directly in.
I like it.
Yeah, so I think he knew ahead of time that this was Quake.
Yeah, I mean they had to come over here to get the hammer, so.
Oh right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, looks like though GGW no fire source, but at this point, I think you mentioned this earlier, right? It's like. you are putting off maybe Meyer without a fire sword long enough. Never mind, we're going straight into desert. That was quite the mirror warp.
I like this. Yeah, I like this display here.
This is actually, quite the move in this case. I guess, like, it's probably faster if you want to combine, like, Desert and Meyer without intentions of killing Lambo.
Yeah.
Or he just checking the map chest? Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. We don't have real boots.
Yeah, no boots.
GW is good on him for remembering all this.
Yeah, that was a really good route. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. Very efficient. Back into Meyer. Let's see if we've got the fire source in here, or if we can just complete it without the fire source. I mean, we were only looking for 2 items at this point, so.
No, so here, if you find the big key early, would you go directly to Vitreous?
Yes.
Okay. That is certainly a very, telling answer. Or at least it's going to be it's certainly going to be potentially causing some amount of variance.
There's a lamp.
Oh my god!
All right.
Did you say something earlier about you just go to where the item is?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, GGW is doing just that.
But it's funny though. It doesn't really do anything, right?
I mean, it lets you basically finish on Meyer, right? I mean, or at least give you the confidence of getting the fire rod, the fire lock side.
Yeah. So mirror checks, you've got Cave 45, you got Graveyard Ledge, and you've got Checkerboard Cave. Let's see where Kohrek goes. Thinking about it, and it looks like he's going to do the Meyer Desert play as well. We'll see how he runs throughout this.
Yeah. And by the way, also, right, like, Open Plus, again, pseudo boots, right? So we've gone 50 plus minutes without finding the real boots. And well, isn't it nice to be able to dash for 50 plus minutes?
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of, I was gonna say that lamp was I mean, at least for now, it was pretty dang hard required here for that big key.
So the fire rod is on Vidi?
Yes, that's exactly correct. So is GGW gonna go to the cutscene chest?
I think he'll do everything but that. And then maybe go back in if he doesn't get the second item.
Alright, Kohrek also kind of making the similar play to GGW here, finding out that Desert is actually boots locked, so. But yeah, so it looks like maybe a very slight difference. Kohrek's gonna check Checkerboard Cave. Right, I think he's also trying to figure out, like, if a lamp or fire rod is here, I'm so golden for Meyer, and of course we know from GW's side that the lamp is just right there in that chest, and he just passed through.
There's $5 there, so that's not the answer. Meyer Basement is so much easier now that you have the lamp.
Yeah, I was wondering, I think there was a little bit of discussion in chat earlier, where, so dark rooms, right? And you mentioned also earlier, pod dark rooms are probably some of the hardest ones in the game. Meyer Basement is definitely up there, in terms of difficulty. And, I mean, like, the fact that we just, fortunately found the lamp means that we really don't have to go for that endeavor.
Not gonna see Spooky today.
Yep, that's true. Even though, we did, basically everything. No fire rod means no Spooky today. So, we're gonna get some lesser seen content, from both Kohrek and GGW. I don't know. I'm always really nervous whenever someone has the mirror out, like, in the middle of a dungeon you're not intending, and it's just like...
Especially on Vidi, because you're right next to it with the bow, usually.
Yeah, and because and you also want to time your quick swap over to the mirror, right, or something like that. So like you can basically get out, faster. Especially when like flute away or something like that. And you can't do it when the boss is exploding, right? Or when it's like something's dropping. And so like, but if you do it too early, and you're still missing an arrow shot, you're really, really sad.
Yeah.
hey, look, it's a lamp on Kohrek's side. He's probably just like shaking his head throughout this entire scene, right? It's like, oh, okay, there's a bow and Easter, great. Like, oh, there's a lamp, in Meyer, but I was just waiting for so long.
There's the second item too. It's nothing. So.
Oh, nice. All right, so yeah, I don't think actually GGW went to the vanilla big key chest, right?
No, he skipped that. He did everything else but the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, so Kohrek is getting the compass chest, which does have her big key. I'm curious to see if he will do cutscene. Certainly not for the time being, but I mean, certainly, if he does go directly to Vitreous, he will be very vastly rewarded. Otherwise, I think GGW is going to get a little bit of time over Kohrek on this dungeon.
Where is our progression? Is it one of the mirror checks? Is it Turtle Rock? Are you more incentivized to go up to Turtle Rock even though you don't have the fire rod?
Again?
It seems like such a...
We've already climbed the mountain twice now. I don't know. Like, we have to go for a third time? Ideally, you wouldn't.
I like this play because you've got Bombo's tablet, you've got K45, and you have the shovel. So that's three pretty quick checks.
We haven't checked the shovel yet. That's right, we got it in Eastern Palace. I forgot about that. Yeah, and then, I don't know, like, because you're not up on the mountain, we're still missing flippers. I was gonna say, if we had flippers, like, logical access to Ice Palace, that actually might be more tempting, but, you really don't want to dive, like, Pendant Ice if you think flippers are go mode, right? And right now, we're only missing flippers and Fire Rod, and it's like, especially also with now Fire Rod. Going through with Bombos is also kind of slow, and so it's just like not very appealing. But then again, is it going to be faster than going up the mountain again? I mean, it's not an easy decision.
Yeah. So neither tablet. That book was trash, as most of the books are.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah. Do we need the book for anything?
Nah.
Yeah, that's true. It's just big bait from
reading's overrated.
I hope that hit the switch on the Kohrek side. Okay.
Not K45. Check the shovel, and do you do like graveyard ledge, like the one check of graveyard ledge? Ugh.
Yeah. So we don't even have boots, right? And it's not like you can even combine it with anything. Yeah, like so if we even had boots, that actually might be a little bit more, incentive. To be incentivized to doing like North Dark World again. You do King's Tomb, you can do, Bonk Rocks, you can do Graveyard Ledge, but yeah, this one check kind of isolated. Looks like maybe that's actually where GW is going.
Yeah, it's better than going all up to Turtle Rock and then getting locked out immediately. But at this point, it really feels like Turtle Rock is going to be the answer.
Yeah, and we've seen so many, like, oh, I need a fire source from Meyer. Okay, the game's like, here's a lamp. Oh, I need a bow to finish up Pod Eastern. Oh, okay, so here's a bow in Eastern Palace. Like, what if the fire rod is just sitting in the first chest of Turtle Rock?
Yeah.
Right, so next question. If the fire rod is there, do you keep going? Looking for flippers? Do you leave?
Fire rod opens up nothing. Skullwoods. There's two items in Skullwoods. Probably keep going.
It also does open up Pyramid Fairy if you can finish up Skullwoods as well. It's a difficult decision in my opinion.
Fucking lazy kid.
Oh, I see. It's Lazy Kid now. That's the kid.
Yep, there's a fire rod. Never
mind. All right, we're not gonna go up to Turtle Rock quite yet. It is Flipper's Go mode. Ice Palace, in this case, especially if you're paying attention to logic, you don't touch that dungeon.
Yeah. So flippers are going to be in Turtle Rock at this point.
No faith in Skullwoods, huh?
No, not today.
Alright, okay, looks like the Kohrek finishing a Meyer. He also did skip the cutscene chest, was very much rewarded. Looks like he's going to actually kind of follow in GGW's routing.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, it's GGW's race to lose. I mean, there's still a lot of race to go, but it just feels like the luck of the glove routing in the beginning kind of put Kohrek just a little bit behind. And then, of course, just a couple of decisions like going all the long way to Hera.
Yeah,
those kind of things just kind of add up and it put GGW just a little bit ahead here. So
Yeah, in terms of execution, I would say like both GW and Kohrek are playing, extremely well. I mean, it just kind of goes a testament, right, for how how good these guys really are. But it's like normally, especially like the better player you are, like you kind of like gain some time, on the other person, just through execution, because you can do like movements, much better. There is like no real time, given between these two runners in terms of movement.
Yeah, you're not going to qualify for this tournament if you suck at this game. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, GGW kind of got
well, I would say, frequency and more practice really would, improve your chances of being better at this game. In order to qualify, by the way, it is top 16 of, this particular mode, so you certainly had to do, very well. You also needed a minimum of 10 games to gain entry. So it's certainly, these guys have been pretty experienced by now.
There's going to be 2 items here, then like you mentioned, this opens up the pyramid period, so let's imagine what we're going to see here. Just looking for those flippers. Kind of don't want to see the boots, honestly. Don't want anything that opens up more stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And well, so the boots still could be required, right? Like for GT, yeah. We certainly know the desert boots lock, but desert is dependent. We don't, of course, know what the flippers are. But yes, at this point, I think you just really want the blue shoes as opposed to the red ones.
Sure. So Kohrek going to do his first check into Skullwoods. I mean, it stinks because he's going to get the fire rod after this when he goes to Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's so hard to sell that though, right? Because like you go all the way to Graveyard Ledge, and then it's like, what happens if the fire rod just happens to be here, right? You feel really silly.
All right, flippers. Are you here in Skullwoods? No whammies. No whammies.
That is a negatory.
Yeah, that's not good. I think Pyramid Fairy is the next call. I mean, it's just gonna be Turtle Rock, so might as well just head up there. Right?
I mean, well, Turtle Rock is 5 items, but it looks like GW's, eyeing those 2 at Pyramid Fairy for the time. Yeah, again, no Swan Palace available because we don't have flippers. We can't even get the first chest or anything like that. Kohrek, though, almost done with not good front of Skullwoods.
Yeah, awful front of Skullwoods, yeah.
Yeah, but it isn't just in terms of actual, I guess, like, new stuff being checked. GGW does have, or at least we're going to get that from GGW, at least on the first side.
Kohrek, you have the mirror. He's the mirror.
Yeah, he does have the mirror. I hope he didn't necessarily forget that. Yeah, just getting the big key, thinks that, okay, I have to go check it. Maybe he just forgot. Trying to get the bomb jump on this side. Is this gonna work? Yeah, it does not look like it.
Do you think it's here? Do you think our flipper's here in Pyramid?
This scene actually has been, I don't know if it's surprisingly nice is the word, but it's like, we actually haven't had to... Yeah, we haven't had to go into Penny Pendant dungeons so far, so I mean, like, why not? Like...
And nope. And nope. 2 blue items.
It's just not the blue item we're looking for.
Turtle Rock it is. Right? Like, there's nothing else. They've checked everything else.
Yeah.
Check desert.
I think you're right.
You don't go to ice looking for flippers. That doesn't make any sense.
We don't check hobo either. Poor GGW. Where's the powder when you need it?
Yeah.
All right.
The real question is it like something to get the ice rod to get there on Trinax or something mean, or is it just like the first chest and you could have had him the entire time?
Oh man, that is a really hard call, right? Because like after so Mitts actually came pretty early. We saw one in the front of Escape with Uncle, and in Secret Passage, and then we saw the other one on Spec Rock, right? So certainly when GGW came up here, he had the Mitts. When he did Dark Death Mountain, yeah, and when Kohrek did Dark Death Mountain, they just had an opportunity to get in because they had Quake also really early too. But it's kind of a harder sell, right? So in order to go in there with literally nothing, in order to maybe check, and you don't know how far you can get sucked into that, right?
It's going to be here in Turtle Rock, as I said.
Yes, you did.
Where do you think in Turtle Rock?
So do you think it could be Mimic Cave here? Does you count that as Turtle Rock?
Yeah, you count that as Turtle Rock. I'm going to say it's on the right side. I think it's in the front. One of the first 3 chests. I think it's going to be on the Firelock side.
Okay, all right. Now, of course, are you going to be, nervous if we find like an ice rod here in Turtle Rock?
No, I mean, because you're in Turtle Rock, right? Like, at this point, it doesn't really matter. You're just going to try to find those flippers. Going to the right first.
Yeah, looks like. I mean, GTW. I think, certainly very reasonable, right? Like the first chest was available, basically when he were first up here, but this fire rod was really, really buried. So. Maybe something good is here. And he has no incentive or motivation in order to finish off the dungeon. So he's really hoping something's here.
10 bombs. Okay. So it's not going to be in the first 3, because this next check is going to be a small key. Okay, so...
I guess it's 2 small keys coming up, right? So you have to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, so Moth is down for a Kohrek. That is his next crystal. I'm going to assume that he is going to do Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy just makes more sense than going all the way up to Turtle Rock. First, he's going to check that other item, though. Big key chest. So you're saying Mimic Cave is the flippers. That's what your prediction is, right?
Correct. That's where I think flippers are. I'm kind of hoping that it's a little bit before then.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. Oh, Kohrek giving us a... No, he just only quick swapped over to the food. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as expected, certainly get very reasonable. We saw the GTW do this a little bit earlier. Is Kohrek having 5-6 crystals, from Skullwoods and Thieves Town very early on. It's going to be Pyramid Fairy. He is going to be, disappointed with both blue items not being the flippers that he's looking for.
Yeah. All right. Big chest. Do you have the flippers? Answer is no. Do you check the big chest first or Mimic Cave first?
I am 100% Mimic Cave checker. that is the campfire move, which is another reason why I would actually like to see it in Mimic Cave.
See, I think one item away from Go Mode, I think I check big chest first.
So in this particular case, I guess I might. No. I'm sticking with Mimic Cave. I'm still hoping that it's there. I believe it was. Yeah. I would like to see it in Mimic Cave. How's that? Alright, Kohrek picking up his 5 rupees and blue boomerang. Oh, I don't think we actually got this from GW. We're checking to see that Pyramid Fairy is indeed just another B, so no potion health. GGW looks like
Team 2 right
here. He did check big chest first, and turns out it is actually not a key, but it is a dungeon item, so it's something that we're not looking for.
You know what's really good that I just realized is
what's that?
Early on, Kohrek had 4 pendants marked, and he's not immediately going to Ice Palace, which means he figured out his pendant crystal situation.
Yeah, actually looks like it, exactly. Yeah, and actually we look at the tracker now, it is a crystal marked for Swamp, so maybe he just did a misclick or something. I don't know. Alright,
so
it was actually
we were all wrong.
It was one of the Kohrek has not done Spike Cave yet. Oh, I forgot. Because he didn't have no invincibility and no potions or nothing to help him up here, so okay, so we're coming up here. Crystal Roller, this could have the flippers we're looking for.
There's the silvers.
Silvers. I mean, it's not a bad pickup.
You're not gonna say no to that. I mean, you're not going out of your way for the silvers. They're along the way.
This is basically on the way for us. Yeah, so we have all of Laser Bridge. And of course, we find the Ice Rod here on Laser Bridge, which is frequently it's home for Mini Acid. We're basically going to take it straight to Trinex.
Boots.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And we could, in fact, get boots. That would open up more logical checks. Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, Desert.
Lumberjack.
No, that's right. Kohrek and TW has not checked was a Lumberjack either. Typically, people don't do that until they get real boots, because again, you can't block anything out of that tree.
One more check.
Jeez. Oh, hey, there are the flippers. Yeah, GGW doesn't even care. It's
What a
last
game.
possible location, for those flippers. Wow.
So if you're in GGW's shoes, he's got a pretty sizable lead at this point. Obviously, he doesn't know that, but he just last location the flippers. Do you feel okay still?
I mean, arguably so. Like, I don't know. Okay, first let me give the big disclaimer that as probably a runner, I'm not sure how good you ever feel like during a race, especially when you do last locate something. But he, I don't know if you necessarily like realize some like the good things that he's done this year, right? Like you brought up like, for example, like Hera, right? He manages to kind of stave off going up there, until waiting basically for like a mirror, right? In this case. So it's certainly going to save himself a little bit of time, like for something like that.
Yeah, I also think the fact that he did Eastern first and got the bow right away is one of those things where it feels like that could be a way to be, get a one-up on your opponent.
Yeah.
Because in this situation, I probably would have gone to pod before I got into
well, pod was also bow lock, so maybe it wouldn't make that much of a difference, just because you're probably going to go to Eastern after that.
But also, the mirror was in pod too. So sequence break pod, and then get the mirror, get your bow, and finish them all off. So it's not too bad. Does get a go mode. Swamp Palace, and with everything, there is no half magic in this mode, right?
Correct. Yeah. So, half magic. I don't even think we found the replacement for half magic, but it is going to be a small magic decanter. That's certainly, but it's not available to our runners.
Yeah. So you've got silvers, you've got blue mail, you've got a ton of hearts, you've got tempered. There's and
GGW has both his blue potions as well that he bought very early. So
I think he used one.
Oh, did he?
In Turtle Rock, yeah.
Oh, okay. Might have just missed that. Speaking of, though, I know I was going to say, like, so Kohrek, as opposed to Kohrek in here, a little bit of a precarious situation because both his bottles, I believe, are Bs, and even though he does have blue mail, this is kind of like, the rest of his life. Hopefully he's going to get, that great drop would be really helpful, Kohrek.
Oh, it's been.
Oh my god! I think I was just really hoping he didn't have to go pick up the pot, but jeez, that fairy was not happy. All right, looks like the GW is not even going to be willing to pick up the flooded chest or anything like that. Again, of course, big disclaimer about, of course, GT, big key, 1 in 22 chance of it being on the torch, etc., for the boots, blah blah blah. But looks like GW is not willing to take that. Yes, and of course Kohrek, very much well done, in my opinion, doing Mimic K first.
Yeah.
And he's going to be rewarded with at least an item. So.
Yeah.
Looks like, alright, GTW's on Argus. Looks like he's just gonna do, the old, hook and slash. And then presumably one silver arrow here on the back. Oh, yeah. So Argus, even though it is like the boss of the second crystal dungeon, in the regular game, I know these puffs don't hurt that much. However, if there are like 5 puffs, they can basically, I don't know, never mind. We're in full go mode now. Argus, man, what a sequence, by the way, right? Quote unquote go mode flippers, and we have to wait basically until the very, very end of the game to find boots. Wow. Thank you, Pseudo Boots. Again, good choice to start with them.
Sorry, I missed that. Where were the boots? They were on Argus?
The boots were on Argus.
Wow, what a free seed.
Yeah, what? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't know. I would really like to encourage runners, maybe, you know, to try and start with pseudo boots more often. If you can't start with real boots. Alright, so that is GGW's last crystal dungeon. We're headed up, you know, to the mountain the fourth time. You're also getting Deadrock the second time.
Stupid Deadrocks, man. Go away.
Meanwhile, Kohrek still kind of demonstrating just how tough bonking is with pseudo boots, but he's almost there to the vanilla small key chest here on Laser Bridge, where he's going to pick up his basically GoPro item, which are the flippers. Alright, I think Kohrek, yeah, probably realizing in this case that it's probably just going to be faster to save and quit, just because we're still in the dark world, we still have to go mirror back. Save and quitting basically will give us to the light world immediately, and, well, what he wants to do is he wants to go to Swamp Palace.
Yep. So just got Ganon's tower to do. Gonna find that big key in a chest in the basement or on a torch because we have the boots.
Yeah. Do you happen to know if GGW has a preference for, you know, GT basement routing?
I think he does Stalfos right.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I mean, yeah, certainly, you know, multiple camps, of course, for preference. Going Stalfos from first guarantees you a small key in order to do compass room. Or, of course, when you're just finding hope room. Yeah, it looks like you're right. You know, again, you should just do all the cults, Fear. Like, I don't think you've been wrong so far.
That's right. Maybe all that praise you heaped on me earlier was true. So, small key on the torch, small key in the pot. I bet we get a big key right here in the Stalfos room.
Yeah, I mean, very well, and it certainly could be, you know, very good in this case, you know, for GW, and more small keys. And yeah, and right now, I probably don't want or need anything else, right? Can't get any more safeties. Well, I mean, maybe the powder, but like they got blue mail. I think we're set. Blue
Top
mail,
16.
Yeah.
Top 16, they're fine.
That's true. Oh, look at that! Look at that hard keys. Yeah. Oh, this actually could cause. Yeah, this could cause a little bit of variance here. You know, in terms of GT basement. You know, Kohrek's. You know, I'm not sure what he'll do, but if he does, you know, hope room first, and because there is no small key, if the GT big key is here, on Encompass chest, it can certainly, you know, give GW quite a good amount more lead. Alright, I guess I'm also kind of curious to see if Kohrek wants to go check, you know, like the flooded room chest, or, you know, waterfall chest or something. You know, just because, like, we foresaw the boots, you know, were on Argus, but, you know, Kohrek doesn't do that, right?
Oh, there's the powder.
Alright, GT Vicky is not here. Yeah, and I kind of doubt the powder's going to be making the difference. Alright, Kohrek is also not interested in these chests. He was interested in that health, though. Maybe he just been more conscious of the fact that he still has to go fight Argus. Yeah.
What's your least favorite part of this game? Is it the GT find? The GT big key find? It's like one of the worst parts of the game, right?
You mean like in like every seed, or you know, just in like some
in general?
In general, that's a good question. I think doing hookless Swamp Palace is probably up there. But I mean, of course, you don't have to do that, you know, in every seed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, every seed, unless you're playing keys.
Yeah.
You gotta go to GT, find the big key, blah, blah, blah.
You know, I mean, well, you don't have to play, unless maybe you're playing Triforce once, then you don't have to go find it.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, yeah.
Correct.
Yep, boots, finally rewarded with boots after an hour and basically like 20 minutes or so. Yeah. But still, again, thank you, Super Boots, for letting us dash at the beginning.
Yeah, imagine having to play this seed without boots the entire time. Ugh.
Alright, crystal number 7, down for Kohrek.
And there's the big key.
Yeah. GT Vicky in rando room. Yeah, of course, yeah, GW, didn't even check like the the chest just like Kohrek, in Swamp Palace. He doesn't do anything else. He even found powder in Compass room, which assuming Kohrek does go right first in the Hope room, I don't see him getting powder. Yeah, we also are seeing, even though silver arrows are very powerful and that basically they do one-shot everything, well, they do certainly still cause a good amount of lag. And yeah, GGW is pretty much just stacked on safeties, and well, everything you could possibly ask for. He is maxed out like on every single piece of equipment: tempered sword, silvers, blue mail, fighter shield for maybe that one, off occasion to be able to use it. He's got a blue potion at least. He's got powder from Compass room. I think he is absolutely set. Meanwhile, Kohrek is certainly a very, extremely capable runner. He does not have as much, safety luxuries, just because, like, again, he doesn't have like the potion that he has. And most likely, assuming, of course, he does go Hope room, first, he probably won't get the powder. He certainly still have a lot of, protection, but it's just kind of, but the gauntlet can certainly be, quite, it can wear you down pretty easily.
Yeah, I blinked and the gauntlet was over.
Yeah, GW has been, flying right through. Yeah, so in terms of, a time spent in GT, the fact that Kohrek is here is going to save them actually, basically right side GT's worth of time over GGW. Of course, the flip side is that he is not going to get that powder, which I don't think will make a difference, honestly. But like, it's certainly, I don't think Kohrek's gonna die in the gauntlet. I at least hope he doesn't die in the gauntlet. Don't let me see.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He will be fine. Almost done. Just got a couple more rooms here in Gans Tower.
Yeah. Oh man, you see those real boots bonking over to Stavros' room? None of the pseudo boots, half bonk, let me fall into the pit stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's the hard part, is getting used to pseudo boots, is remembering when you have them compared to when you don't have them.
Yeah. And so like the biggest reason, of course, in terms of like why the bonk distance is different is, so in the vanilla game, the first chest of Hookshot Cave is actually logically accessible with the boots, right? Because you can actually like bonk your way over there, and yes, the hookshot could absolutely be there. So in this case, right? So if you want to limit the boots functionality, like you kind of have to limit the space you can ricochet with for bonking. It's not just for convenience or something like that. GGW is kind of having a time here on Moldor.
Yeah, did not want to cooperate.
Alright, Kohrek though is making his way to random room. He's gonna pick up his GT here very shortly. But meanwhile though, yeah, GGW basically has 2 more boss fights left to go. He's got Aghanim 2, or like Aghanim times 3, and then all he has to do is take down Ganon.
Do you think GGW is good enough to get a 1-in-1? I'm gonna say it's 50-50 to get a 1-in-1.
I will reserve my right to make that judgment until I see. I was gonna say see his Aga 2 fight. I will still reserve my. Man, this is a rough ending of the tower here for GW.
Yeah, these patterns suck.
I'm not sure. Okay, so I think that's 2. That right. At least it's the final hit. I certainly hope that GW can get the 1-1. He made it pretty far.
I just hope he can get a 2-2.
2-2. Would you have a couple words for him if he can't get the 2-2 in this case?
Oh yeah,
on the interview.
I'll definitely have some words for him.
All right, Kohrek though making his way up the gauntlet. Hopefully, should be very short work. Stalfos are not also cooperating though, nor would that be most. Alright, so okay, so GW looks like he is on his way to get the 1-1. I would like to say that.
We'll see. He got the 1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he got it.
Oh my gosh, GGW! Oh, and thank you, Blue Mail. By the way, he got sniped by.
He did get it. Wow, I got hit my
almost died.
Half a heart.
Thank you, Blue Mail. Holy cow! That heart piece that he got, I think in GT, basically to put him up to 11 hearts, basically just saved his life.
Yeah. Hold on, I just need to wash my eyes out really quick. Stop warping and pop a couple silver arrows into the back.
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of the seed, though, I guess like the worst part of it maybe was just making the decision to go into Turtle Rock, but you had to wait, I guess, until you got the fire rod,
which you needed the mirror for.
Right. Yeah, but other than that, we didn't have to touch any other pendant dungeons, right? Like we didn't have to go into desert, and we certainly were not going to go into Ice Palace. So.
There it is. Get your GGs in chat for GGW, who makes sure he's not eliminated from this tournament quite yet.
That is true. Yeah, get your G's in chat for GGW. So a win, versus Kohrek is not a guaranteed spot for him. Advancing. Just to give a recap, this group is Kohrek, GGW, CS Tutor, and Tato from Germany. CS Tutor has already advanced, so it's just between Kohrek, GGW, and Tato fighting out for that last spot. GGW winning here today means that his fate, if he wins against CS Tutor tomorrow, I believe, that he will advance. Otherwise, Tato is going to advance, just based on tiebreaker situations.
So Kohrek is out then?
Kohrek is out because he could not win this one, yeah. So this one, Kohrek was like, go win or go home.
Okay. Well, GG's to Kohrek.
Kohrek has played phenomenally well.
Yeah.
It just happens to be, I think you mentioned, earlier, right? In terms of routing, not too much difference. Relatively same, like, routing paths. It's just that there were just sometimes, like, timing-wise, right? Kohrek went up to Hera the long way. GGW waited until he had the mirror.
Yeah.
That was actually really nice triple on Kohrek's side, too, right? It's just little things like this kind of just add up, right?
Sure.
Kohrek's having a really good accuracy fight, actually. That was a 3-2-1. Really well done.
And it looks like GGW will be joining us as well.
Okay, cool. Maybe we can pull them both in, just get Kohrek basically through the fight, his Ganon fight, and then we can maybe talk to them both.
I think it's just going to be GGW today.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Through it all, not too far behind though. Had a really nice GT for Kohrek there. Does take a quick death. We'll see if GGW is able to join. I know he is on Windows 7 still, so I don't even know if he can run Discord or not.
Yeah. At least if Kohrek's going to take a death too on Gan, it's going to be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Sorry, early. That's what I meant to say. We are also joined by GGW. Hello, GG's.
So when you get those flippers and it's like your last location, do you feel like you're in a good spot, or how were you feeling?
I still didn't feel too great because it's like I felt great when I found the bow, but then when I found the flippers, and I was like, well, I still kind of did everything in the game, so
yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's still very possible that I lose at that point, so I just was worried still. I also was very worried right before that. I was like, what did I skip?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, were you ever tempted at all to maybe even take a peek into Turtle Rock?
Nah.
Maybe after Hera, even though I guess the no fire rod would probably...
Yeah, without the fire rod, it's just like, It's so slow. It's probably a minute and a half to just go check one thing. If it was
Yeah.
a crystal dungeon, it's a little bit more reasonable to play since you have to open it anyway and you have to get like the first chest or two out of it anyway. But with it being appended, it's just like lighting time on fire.
So you get a pretty good opening to the seed with the where your mitts were. Pretty stacked Kakariko. Actually, let's say GG's to Kohrek as he finishes up here.
Yeah, definitely get your G's in chat for Kohrek. And of course, with his with GGW, taking the win in this particular race, this is going to be this is going to be Kohrek's exit from, in this case, the ladder tournament. I would say he played very, very well this entire time.
Is that true though? Because I think if I lose to CS Tutor, isn't there like a 3-way tie or something like that?
According to Dunk, through tiebreakers and such, it is just between you and Tato at this point.
Oh, really? I forfeited my first race. I figured I was screwed.
Kohrek also had a forfeit. I think that probably was the difference.
Okay. Well, that's
so there you go. No pressure or anything.
Yeah, but I think you are basically well, I mean, you're also deciding your own fate. But yeah, if you don't, then Tato will.
Yeah, I'll lose. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know.
So heading out of Kakariko, you got a couple swords, you get the hook shot and the flute. You ended up doing South Shore. Tell us how you're feeling kind of early on in the seed.
I think things are going fairly smoothly. I did South Shore. I had enough money for Zora, so I was just like, let's just do the Zora checks. And then I got to do Front of Escape all in one go, which is always nice.
Yeah.
I got tempered early, which is super nice. And then, I don't know, I just fluted up the mountain. Seemed like there's probably going to be something up there. And then got the mitts. And you never really love mitts for Dark World access, but thankfully it led right to the hammer and Mire Shed. So everything seemed like it was going pretty well. But yeah, then you just didn't find anything, and I did the front of Skull Woods for literally nothing, and that always feels really bad.
Yeah, Skull Woods is awful. So what about Pod Eastern? Was there any temptation to do Pod before Eastern in that situation?
Since I didn't do Saha yet, I don't know. It's if Pod, I don't have the lamp, and I don't have the bow, and I don't have a fire rod, so pretty much nothing in Pod is really in logic. So it's just, I don't know. I just wanted to check Saha, and then at that point, pretty much everything is lamp locked. Like Sahara on the mountain could potentially be lamp locked. Desert, I don't even have the boots or the lamp for that, so I don't know. I was just like, screw it, let's just go into Eastern and get our Sphere 1 fire rod or something.
Sure. What were you thinking when you pulled that bow there?
I honestly felt like probably just won the game off of that play, because that's the worst place for the bow to be in the entire game, pretty much.
Yeah.
But then it just kept not finding progression and last locating everything, so then I wasn't sure.
Also had a really nice boots location in the seed.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's open plus.
Yeah, could you imagine walking through this entire seed the entire time? That would have been awful.
Yeah.
I guess related to that, so after you were basically go moding Swamp, were you worried at all about maybe the GTP keeping on the torch? Because you're skipping all the stuff Flooded Rune.
Oh, I was not thinking about that at all, to be honest.
Okay.
I was just like, let's just go. But yeah, honestly, in hindsight, I probably should have at least opened the diver down chest.
Yeah, neither one of you did. Because at that point your these freaking flippers were on Laser Bridge. Was there any thought early on, pre-bow, pre-fire rod, of maybe dipping Ice Palace?
If it was a crystal, I definitely would have. But with it being a pendant, I was just like, nah.
Yeah. I mean, the seed was pretty straightforward, honestly.
I guess so. I mean, it's once you got the bow, everything tied together.
Yeah.
I mean, you could waste a little bit of time. I know that Kohrek had like a crash or something? Like what else was that mostly the difference then?
No, he just did a couple things that you were able to take advantage of. So like he went up to the mountain before he had the gloves. So his first glove was up there, so he had to make an extra trip to the mountain. And then when you went to Eastern, he went to Hera the long way.
I see, yeah.
So it's like so he climbed the mountain a couple extra times and was just kind of behind. And then he like that isolated spike chest, which you did with Hera. So before going to Turtle Rock, he did spike chest.
I
So
see.
there's just small inefficiencies due to where the item placement ended up being that kind of put him behind, and it never wasn't a chance to catch up. So once you're kind of on that path, you get the bow in Eastern, and then you do obviously you're going to do pod right after that, and then you both headed to Meyer and ended up getting your lamp there, which unlocked everything logically. And then you guys like followed each other, like you do the K45 Bombos tablet shovel.
Yeah.
He didn't do Skull Woods yet, so before he did Graveyard Ledge, he went to Skull Woods. And
I see. Oh, that's unfortunate.
So yeah, it just things just ended up, being a little bit more efficient on your route. So that's kind of the way random goes sometimes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing comms. It's good to see you, Fear Agent, back out there in the booth.
Thanks, dude.
I agree. It's been super fun. If you hear you here in commentary, and I'm really also glad to see you back here.
Yeah, it's all about me today.
Yep.
I hope to see more of you. That's if that's not any indication.
Well, we will be seeing more of GGW because you still have to race Tito, right?
He's racing CS Tutor tomorrow.
CS Tutor, okay.
CS Tutor, so yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, good luck on that race.
Yeah. Thanks. I will probably be half asleep still, but we'll see what we can do.
All right. Well, GG's and good luck, man.
Yeah,
thanks.
GG's, good luck. Yeah. So I guess we can start to wrap things up here. I also and I want to say, Kohrek, if you're still listening, or if you are listening, GG's again on your run, basically for Open Plus, in this bracket, or sorry, for these groups, I certainly think you played overall very well. And actually, I don't actually know if Kohrek was even planning on doing this, but I think maybe kind of. Not super last minute, but last minute he's like, oh, you know what? I think I could probably make some of these Open Plus races, and just kind of like how the schedule ended up working out. He was able to catch a lot of like the early morning ones, and he basically went on a tear, right? And got his 10 races in, towards the end of the season, and managed to qualify, to high seed. So
not easy to qualify. So that's a feat unto itself. So GG's to Kohrek.
Yeah.
All right, Clearmouse, thanks for having me. That was a lot of fun. Thanks to Dunka and his minions of bots and computers and hacking things going on to make it all easy for us.
Yeah, and especially actually this time, again, a very, unfortunate technical difficulties on Kohrek's side, because we couldn't end up getting, part of the stream going. But I mean, that dark black magic and baby laughs, right? Basically.
Apparently they didn't like Clearmouse, kicked her out of here. So I'm gonna say goodbye. Thanks to Clearmouse again. Oh no, she's back. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I guess speaking of technical difficulties,
they didn't
yeah.
Like too much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we got basically all of Kohrek's progress all tracked throughout. Even though we couldn't get any of Kohrek's stream for a little time. So thank you so much, Naka. Like, the technology is really just amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's for tomorrow, as you did mention. So GW is playing CS Tutor tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern, and that is going to, of course, determine the fate, of Group D, including GW and Tato. And I believe also Relkin and Hitsu are also playing at the exact same time. So I think that will also has more related implications, but I'm not sure if there's anything definitive there. But certainly, I think those are the ones that are going on for tomorrow. So Duncan will have events posted, I'm sure, on the Ladder Discord. So until then, keep watching and have a good night.
Bye, everyone.